I've got a really good question for you. Why should you focus on self-improvement? Stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And I was inspired by an article by a gentleman named Lucas Schwekendiek. Schwekendiek is S-C-H-W-E-K-E-N-D-I-E-K. Lucas Schwekendiek, big shout out. He wrote an article called 10 Short Benefits to Self-Improvement. You know, if you're going to focus on your self-improvement, one of the whys and becauses should be, how come? What's the big deal? All right, let's go over some of the points, and then you can take to heart on your own self-improvement. Point number one, you develop in all other areas as well. Because for everything you do affects everything else that you do. Once you get into the habit of doing things that are going to add to your self-improvement, you start to look at things differently. You start to look at things in a new light. You start to say to yourself, is this going to move me forward? Whereas in the past you would just say, okay, that's the way it is. You start to reflect more, and you start to make better decisions, and you start to take a look at your habits and decide whether they are forward going or habits that are restraining you from advancing to achieve the success that you desire and you deserve. Two, it gets you more motivated and driven, because progress is addictive. There is nothing more addictive than progress. Progress, anybody that's ever been on a diet, if you lose a couple of pounds, you go, oh boy, I'm going to lose more, I'm going to lose more. As an athlete, when you're working out, you know, and you're trying to improve, let's say a time, you know, a running time, and you keep practicing and keep training, and you measure your results. That's a key thing. You've got to measure your results and see the improvement. And once you do see that improvement, you're excited. It's an elixir that gets you to want to do more. Progress is addictive. So your self-improvement gets you motivated, gets you driven, gets you making progress, and it's just a continuous circle that goes around and around in a positive way. Number three, you learn to be a better friend to yourself. You become your own best friend that is honest, direct, and caring, and most importantly, the one that does not allow you to get away with petty excuses. You know, once you start to focus on your self-improvement, once again, you start to reflect more and more and more, and you start to look at things and say, is this helping me get where I want to go? And you learn a lot about yourself, whereas you're saying, you know, doing things that way in the past only got me this far. If I want to get this far, then I have to change what it is that I'm doing. I have to get rid of those bad habits and insert good habits in there. And when you do that, you become more realistic about yourself, and you don't allow yourself to succumb to the excuses of the 95% crowd. The crowd that says, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'm going to procrastinate, or, you know, I tried, it didn't work, boom. When you have that drive, when you have that ambition, when you're focusing on your own self-improvement, the little things that you do are going to come to the forefront, and you're going to say to yourself, this is making me better, or this is not making me better. Do you follow what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And you become a better friend to yourself. 4, it makes you more accepting of yourself, because you can only change, improve, and appreciate what you actually accept is there. All right? You start to, when you're focusing on your self-improvement, you're saying to yourself, you know, I can get this job done. It's something that I can do. And by reflecting and visualizing and seeing something as it is and saying to yourself, okay, this is as it is, but I can make it better. And then you visualize what makes it better. And then you start to say to yourself, all right, what's the first step I have to take so I can get on that journey? So you find your first starting line. And then you start to accept yourself more. You say, I can do this. I can get this job done. It gives you self-confidence. It gives you self-esteem. And you don't worry so much about what the outside world is saying. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. All right. That's not the way you want to be. You want to be accepting of yourself and say, I will not be denied. And you say to yourself, I can get this job done. Does that make some sense? Number 5, you'll be able to exert more control over yourself and your life. Higher self-awareness, sense of self, and acceptance of oneself leads to more opportunities to exert control. When you have a better understanding of yourself, you know what it is that you can do, and you also have the ability to stretch yourself. When you focus on self-improvement, one of the things you do every day is you say, okay, what is it I want to accomplish? And you try and make your grasp just a little bit longer than your reach. And once you do that, you start to get on a roll. You start to develop inertia, a positive inertia that's going to continuously move you forward. And in the absolute best case scenario, when your grasp is continually exceeding your reach, what happens is you establish a flow state. And that's the state where you can't miss, okay? That's where Steph Curry's getting the ball and he gets it, he's in rhythm, boom, it goes. Well, that doesn't just apply to basketball, that applies in the work world, that applies socially. Have you ever been in a situation, and it's happened to me on a couple of occasions, not a zillion, but a couple, where for some reason that particular day you're exuding a charisma, your people are just drawn to you, and you say to yourself, I can't do anything wrong, so this is the time I want to take advantage. This is the time I want to make new friends, meet new people, make new contacts. Do you follow what I'm saying? So you're able to exert more control over yourself when you plan things out, and it leads to more opportunities because like attracts like. And when people see that you're successful, the successful people are going to be drawn to you as well. All right, giving you 5 things that benefits of why self-improvement is important. Next time we get together, we're going to go over the final 5 things. So until that time, always remember, hey, don't ration the passion, fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.